Hey everybody, it's Michael from Replica Airguns with another tabletop video review for you guys. Today we're looking at the Tokyo Marui Hi-Capa 5.1 D.O.R, which stands for Direct Optics Ready, and this is a gas blowback airsoft pistol. Now this gun is available in our Canada Replica Airgun store over at replicaairguns.ca. I'll put links in the description for you guys. Previously to this video, I've reviewed the Tokyo Marui, and this is the Strike 45, so check out that tabletop video. I've also done the Tokyo Marui FNX 45, so check that one out. Nice tabletop videos for these guys. No field test shooting videos yet. They do come with extended barrels that helps to get them importable in our Canadian, basically our Canadian market here, to get them up to that 360 FPS, but as they are configured without the extended barrel, they might shoot a little bit less, but we'll maybe do a field test shooting video at some point and just see where they sit. So let's get right into the specifications. If you haven't noticed, it's a replica of a Colt 45 1911. It's kind of more modernized with more of a tactical, updated look to it. Again, it's a gas blowback, mostly plastic build that uses green gas or propane gas, and it uses standard 6mm plastic airsoft BBs. You're going to be able to fit 31 of those plastic airsoft BBs into the full-size drop-out metal magazine that not only holds the BBs, but of course the gas, the green gas or propane. This gun weighs in at 1.85 pounds or 839 grams. It's 8.7 inches in length, which is 220 millimeters, and the barrel length is 4.4 inches or 112 millimeters, and it is a non-rifled metal barrel. I believe it's a brass barrel. As you'll find with most 1911s, it has a single action only trigger that happens to be lightweight, flat-faced in design. You're going to find a white front dot sight, okay, and the rear sight does not have any white dots and it's non-adjustable. Once you field strip this gun, you'll be able to get it at the adjustable hop-up. I'll show you that when I do the field strip or teardown of the slide. And this gun shoots up to just over 360 FPS. Again, probably with that extension barrel on there just to get the FPS high enough here for Canada. You're also going to find ambidextrous thumb safeties on both sides, left and right. And of course, a working grip safety. The Tokyo Marui Hi-Capa 5.1 D.O.R has extended slide catch release here. Just extends a little further, makes it a little bit easier to get to. And again, this gun is made by Tokyo Marui in Japan, and that's why you're going to find a lot more plastic on this gun. Traditionally, the slide's going to be plastic, but there are a fair amount of metal parts in it that do help get it up to weight, and so that it just feels a little bit better in the hand. All right, let's take a quick look. What you get this box here. It's packaged in this nice box, okay? Direct optics ready. It's not actually 45, but it's designed after a 45, right? Not too much really going on the box. I'll just show you inside. It's kind of got some styrofoam lining. Here are the extended barrels, right? So this would go on the gun. Let's see here. Extend the barrel, threads in there. Or if you don't want the extended barrel, you could replace it with this, and it's a non-threaded barrel. Just, I guess, if you want to just keep it without the threading in it. I'll show you some stuff that comes in here too. But you do have these adapter plates for the optic sight, and I'll kind of talk about that in a bit. You also have a cleaning rod that comes in the box here. Of course, you get your manual. All right. This is a schematic here, parts list, parts diagram, reference names, nice couple little targets, some warnings instructions that are not distinguishable for anyone who only reads English. And then we have the actual manual here. Okay, other stuff in there, but pretty, you know, like you can look at the pictures and figure out most of what's going on here. Obviously, it's not in English, but a picture speaks a lot. So you can see exactly kind of what they're trying to do here and show you with most of this stuff just by watching or looking at the pictures and not having to read anything. Okay, so there's lots of information in here for you guys. Okay, including how to actually get the lower rail on, which I'll kind of explain in a bit. Got the lower rail that you have to punch out some holes for, and then also how to put on the optical sight if you want to do that. Okay, we're not done with what's in the box. There was this other box in the box, and in that box was a bunch of stuff here, and we'll just kind of go over it. So some screws, some more screws. So these are for the adapter plates, I believe. This is the rear optical sight, or sorry, rail, that you can actually, and you'll notice there's no holes here. When I take the slide off, I'm going to show you that there are holes in it. You just have to punch them out. And so this guy just kind of goes, oh, sorry, not here, sorry, right here. What am I thinking? So this goes right here, okay? And there's actually some, on the lower part of the slide here, on the side of the frame, there's some holes that you could punch out that line up with the holes on here. Okay, so I guess that's if you don't want to put any type of a rail on here, you want to keep it clean, so you might want to not have the holes and just keep everything looking cleaner. This is actually the punch right here that you would use. Okay, you also have, these are the slide, basically if you want to dry fire it and not have the slide lock back, you can put that in the magazine. And you've got a little guy here for your barrel, right? Just to keep it all plugged up if you want. Now this one has the threaded barrel opening, so it's gonna, there we go. So you can put that in there just to let people know it's not loaded, not gonna shoot anybody by accident. And that's it for what's inside the box. All right, let's do a walk around of the Tokyo Marui Hi-Capa 5.1 D.O.R gas blowback airsoft pistol. Mouthful. All right, let's take a look. So you got the stamped trades right here, right? D.O.R caliber 4.5. You have the nice straight, lightweight, right? Flat trigger here, and it's really short. Now I'm gonna just pull the mag out for now. Okay, so look at this trigger, just really nice. Nice and short and light, as you'd expect. Of course, you have a working grip safe or trigger safety that's ambidextrous, okay, thumb safety, and then you also have the working grip safety, okay. The hammer has been kind of modified because when you put the adapter plate on, it does hang over a little bit, and so I'm pretty sure this is just to make sure that you don't have any issues with the optical sights once you've installed them, or if you install them. You have your slide catch release again that's extended here. You have your magazine release. Okay, nice serrations on the slide front and back. Okay, pretty nice all around. Right, you have this, I guess, beveling here as well on the barrel. Looks really good. Right, you've got 45 cal there, white dot sight on the front. Okay, no white dot sights on the back. Okay, recessed barrel. Looks like it's got the rifling and everything. There is no barrel bushing on this, so it's a little easier to take apart, but it's not as true to a 1911 design as it would be if it did have the barrel bushing. But that's okay. Nice grips. You've also got some more markings here. All right, really nice looking gun. By the way, this piece here is metal. This piece here, the frame, it's not the whole frame, but it's a section of the frame that's metal. And I'll show you that when I pull it apart. Okay, magazine. Typical magazine, right? Pretty straightforward. 31 round. Okay, double stack. Propane goes in the bottom. It's all metal. Okay. You can see through the mag well, obviously. Let's do some dry firing. Nice snappy slide, real quick trigger, real quick slide. You know, nice gun. I'm sure it would be awesome to shoot this gun, just, you know, whatever. Any type of action shooting, it's gonna be great. So fast. Okay. I think at this point, I'm going to do the field strip because everyone likes to see that and see the hop up and everything, look at the parts a little bit better. Okay, so let's take it down. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to push out this pin from the other side, the slide catch release. Okay, so you pull that out, slide comes forward. Okay, and then you have your hop up there. Okay, let's see inside. All right, I could take the barrel out and everything, but we're not going to do that today. I just wanted you to see how to adjust the hop up. And I wanted to also show off inside here, this part is metal. And I know this because, let me just find that piece, find something metal to give it a little whack with. It sounds like metal as compared to, that's metal there, that's metal there, and inside there's a little metal strip that goes along. So there's metal inside this frame, which is kind of nice. Just the slide, and the slide actually has a fair enough metal with all the parts in there that it does give it some weight. So it's not really, you know, the gun does feel good. I'm not gonna lie, it feels good. Could it be a little heavier? It would maybe get up 2 pounds or 2.5 pounds, would make it a little bit more, you know, like a traditional 1911, all steel frame, steel slide. But it does feel pretty good in general. And you know, the slide, everything has enough blowback action. Could be heavier, I guess, but it does feel pretty good in general. All right, let's get into some of the pros and the cons, and then we'll wrap up this review of the Tokyo Marui Hi-Capa 5.1 D.O.R. All right, again, it has that light and crisp, flat face, single action trigger that feels really good. Kind of what you expect from a 1911, but this one feels good nonetheless. The fit and finish is excellent. There's next to zero slide wiggle. I didn't really show you, but there's nothing going on here. I can't even move it. So fit and finish is fantastic. It's a very cool looking tactical modernized 1911. So if you like the 1911s, but you want something a little more modern, then this is definitely gonna fit the bill. You also have that removable rear sight. I didn't show you that. That's one thing I missed. Sorry, we should get that in there. So these little plates here would replace the rear sight on the back, okay? So this one actually has sights built into it. So if your optics go down, you still have sights. And then you have this other one. I'm not exactly sure how it would go in there, but it would just be just the optics without the actual additional iron sights that you could use as backups. Okay, so those are included, and you could just swap them out and put your optical sight on there. All right, let's get on with these pros and cons. Again, you have that optional under rail plate that you can put on here. It's nice that the holes are not popped out, but you can do that with the tool if you want to, and put that rail on there if you want to add accessories under the rail. And being a Hi-Capa, you've got that 30 round double stacked metal magazine, so you got lots of rounds there. You know, having an additional magazine for backup wouldn't be a bad idea, but there's 60 rounds going on with 2 mags. It's pretty nice. You also have those ambidextrous thumb safeties and the working grip safety as you would expect on a 1911 base gun. Now, most of the mechanical parts work just like a real steel 1911, and this airsoft pistol can be easily field stripped to access the hop-up. Has a nice snappy blowback action, great for action shooting, and it weighs in at a pretty decent 1.85 pounds, which is good considering the amount of plastic that's in this gun. All right, some of the cons. It's a mostly all plastic build, but you are going to find metal where it needs to be. Because Tokyo Marui is a Japanese company, they have restrictions when it comes to the materials that they can use in airsoft guns. The other exception to this being a 1911 is that it doesn't have the barrel bushing. So some of you might prefer to have the barrel bushing just to keep it more in line with a 1911, but it does make it a lot easier to field strip and clean, take apart and all that. The other thing that was a little surprising is that it just has the one white dot sight on the front, nothing on the back. Maybe they're assuming you're going to put the optics on here. I don't know. I think a lot of you may just leave it as is. So white dot sights would have been nice. All right, that wraps up this review for the Tokyo Marui Hi-Capa 5.1 D.O.R gas blowback airsoft pistol. Again, we have this available along with other Tokyo Marui products in our replicaAirguns.ca online airgun store. So check out the links in the description. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe before you head out. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And also visit us at replicaAirguns.com, where I have articles, posts, reviews, usually additional photos and some more information on the products I review. If you're interested in other products, air guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, blank guns, pellet guns, paintball guns, and other accessories, then check us out at replicaAirguns.ca for Canada and replicaAirguns.us for the US. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.